Hi everyone. Today is February 26th, which is a Tuesday, which means that I am 28 weeks, 4 days, so a little bit over 28 and a half weeks. Um, and let me start off by telling you that this vlog might turn into a little bit of a vent. Um, I am so incredibly happy and feel blessed that I am pregnant with this baby, and I'm going to take whatever comes my way. I mean, my husband and I, it took a long time to decide to have a third child because of the fact that we might have to deal with challenges because my son has food allergies, and that makes it a lot more likely that we'll have more children with food allergies. My daughter does not have food allergies that we know of. So this makes it, just a lot more likely, and even more likely that it'll be another thing. Like, we eat a lot of soy in this house because my son's allergic to milk and nuts and eggs. So we get all that protein and everything from soy. Now we have a baby, and this baby could be allergic to soy. What do we do then? But that's all stuff we went over, and we decided, having a baby is worth it. We want another child. It's worth it. So, we're ready for challenges. My daughter had a rare blood disorder. When she was first born, they had noticed something off, but didn't really take much into it. And then when she turned 2, she became really sick and was very lethargic, and I wish I remember what it was called, the blood disorder, but it was transient, so it fixed itself, not before, or actually right before she would have needed a blood transfusion. So she got really sick, and we actually thought for a little bit she might have leukemia, but that's also hereditary. So it could be that our next child will have a blood disorder, or where we have to watch that carefully and have their blood checked. And so, I mean, I've even had people tell me that we shouldn't have any more children just because we don't have healthy babies. My children are healthy. My daughter is extremely healthy. Anyway, I've rambled on for 3 minutes about that. So, but let me tell you, I have healthy children. My son may have food allergies, but we live with it, and he's got his asthma now and whatever. We live with that. A lot of kids have that. My daughter, her blood disorder turned around, nothing. She's perfectly fine now. And, there's going to be challenges that any child, any parent is going to have challenges. So, anyway, so what I wanted to tell you guys about was my last week. Actually, to be more exact, my last doctor's appointment with my OBGYN, which actually I have an OBGYN, and he's got an assistant, I think is what she is. Oh, she's a nurse practitioner. I did not know that. That's interesting. I thought she was a little more qualified. Well, nurse practitioners, actually, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. They're very qualified. Anyway, so with my daughter, actually with my son, my first, I never saw a nurse practitioner. I saw my OBGYN every single time. Then with my daughter, I saw a nurse practitioner, I think, once at the end of my pregnancy. And then this time, I see a nurse practitioner every other time. So it's just a little bit different. I think it's because I have such a great OBGYN, and everybody thinks so everybody in our town goes to him. But anyway, so I went and I saw my nurse practitioner, and while I was there, I asked her if I was gaining too much weight. And she said to me, she looked it up, and she said, "Oh, well, you've gained 18 pounds Sorry, I hate to admit how much weight I've gained. I don't want to admit how much I weigh. I don't like that. But anyway, she says, you've gained 18 pounds. I'm like, okay, and I see that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, 18 pounds, you know, like, nobody wants to hear they've gained 18 pounds over the last 7 months, even though I'm pregnant. So I took that as, wow, I'm gaining a lot of weight, and then she started saying, you know, you could eliminate empty carbs, such as, she said eliminate sodas and breads, or switch to wheat bread, eliminate crackers altogether, and simple things like that. And so I was like, okay. And I took that as, and she actually talked about excess weight and how that can be uncomfortable during pregnancy and everything. So, which I am technically overweight. But anyway, so I took that as I need to start dieting and, you know, not gain that much more weight. You know, obviously I'm going to gain weight. I mean, you're supposed to gain a pound a week at this point. So anyway, so I did that. I took that and decided to, I went and I bought wheat bread and multigrain chips and cut soda, which I was drinking a lot of soda. I cut that out of my diet completely, which actually, last time I did that, I lost 10 pounds. But I was also in high school. So, you know, a high school body versus my, you know, my body now is going to be much different in how it reacts. But I'm hoping that'll help. And I've been doing the soda since Friday, and today's Tuesday. So, I mean, I feel, I don't know, I don't want to say better, but I kind of do. I feel better because I'm making healthier choices and I'm not drinking soda. And I mean, what I've got here is I guess you can't see in there, it's water, and I have this little Dasani flavor, and it doesn't have sugar in it or anything, which I'll get into why that doesn't have sugar either. Oh, but it tastes like pink lemonade. Oh my gosh, so good. But anyway, sorry, this pregnancy brain just throws me off track. So yeah, I did that, and that appointment was the one where I went and took my test where you drink the soda. I wish I would have brought that in here because I still have the bottle, because we take it home and then we drink it an hour before we go in. So I drank the soda, which they told us we could eat breakfast. So I ate a light breakfast. I ate 2 pieces of toast and an orange, which really isn't light, but it's not like sugary or heavy. So anyway, that's what I ate, and I ate that a little while before, like right when I woke up that morning. And then I went in and I got my blood test, and they called me later and they said, you failed your gestational diabetes test. I was like, okay, that means now that I have to go on Friday, so the 1st of March, and go to the hospital and check in and whatever, and I have to fast for 12 hours beforehand. She said just after dinner, don't eat anything. She said I can't even brush my teeth. She said if I have to brush my teeth, use as little as possible, make sure not to swallow it. I don't know how well I would do on that, so we'll see what happens. She said no breath mints, nothing. So I have to fast for 12 hours, and then I have to be there at 8:15. My appointment's at 8:30, and they're going to draw blood, and then I have to stay for an hour, get my blood drawn again, and then another hour, get my blood drawn again, and another hour, get my blood drawn again. So, and she told me it'll take about 4 hours, even though it's called the 3-hour test, because they do it 3 times after an hour. So yeah, that would take about 4. Anyway, so I faint when I don't eat, or and I have stomach problems. So I'm nervous because having all that sugar in my stomach, I'm afraid it's not going to be pretty, and I'm afraid I'm going to pass out, and I'm going to have to sit in a waiting room in the lab for 4 hours. But I'll know then if I have gestational diabetes. Which brings me to my next sort of topic, as to why that frustrates me. I thought I was borderline gestational diabetic while I was pregnant with my daughter. But I didn't really, you kind of have that, oh, that's not going to happen to me type thing. My mom's side of the family all has and have passed away from diabetes. So, I mean, that was kind of, there. My mom apparently had gestational diabetes with my sister, which was her third, and her final. And, that's just kind of strike one, strike two, strike three. But what's frustrating is if I do have gestational diabetes, I'm going to have to change my diet again. Now, I am happy to do that for the remaining 3 months that I have, two and a half, whatever. But what's so incredibly frustrating for me is that my diet is so limited already. I don't eat bad. I don't eat unhealthily. I mean, I have restrictions right now. Let me tell you my restrictions. Right now, I have restrictions for my eating because I'm pregnant. Which, every pregnant woman, they can't eat certain fish. They can't eat Caesar salad. They can't eat raw eggs. They can't eat, just simple things that, aren't too terrible. And then I have stomach problems, which really, really, really limits my diet. I'm lactose intolerant. And my stomach problems, actually, I guess I'll tell you, I never tell anyone. I'm embarrassed. Most of my family doesn't even know that I have irritable bowel syndrome. So I can't eat fried foods. I can't eat foods like canned peaches. I can't eat fatty foods like, I have Jewish family, and like after you fast, you eat kugel. And I make kugel. I make great kugel. And everybody always asks me to bring kugel, but guess what? I can't eat it because it makes me sick. And I can't eat like too much pasta. I can't eat big portions. I have to eat small portions. I can't fill myself till I'm no longer hungry. And these are things that I've learned to deal with. I've been IBS. I had irritable bowel syndrome because of my first pregnancy, and the symptoms started after I was done breastfeeding, which with him was only 3 months. So I've had irritable bowel syndrome for 5 years now, and I've learned to live with it. But that's a lot I can't eat. And then come to find out, my son has food allergies to milk, eggs, tree nuts, and peanuts. Which, to the point where if I eat an egg, I eat a sandwich with milk in the bread, or mayonnaise on it because it's got egg, and it, just barely touched my skin, and I go and touch my son. My son can have a life-threatening reaction. So we've eliminated all of that from our diet. I'll eat some of that sometimes when he's not around, or when I know I can just wash my hands right after. But it is very unlikely that you will see me eating something my son is allergic to. And I'm lactose intolerant anyway, so I don't drink milk or have much, I don't eat ice cream, any of that. So, and then add on top of that then I might have gestational diabetes. So, food is not my friend. Let me tell you, when you have a child with food allergies, you think of food as a poison. Who wants to think of food as a poison? But I have boycotted peanuts altogether. I'm allergic to some tree nuts as well. Not like he is, but tree nuts are, sometimes I'll have an almond, like if it's a chocolate covered almond or something that came in my Valentine's candy my husband got me, I'll eat that. But somebody has a peanut butter sandwich, and I can't help but almost be angry at them for eating that. Angry at my husband for keeping peanut butter pretzels in the house, which also was this huge debacle in our house last week, with my daughter finding his peanut butter pretzels and shoving one up to my son's nose, making him smell it, which then caused a reaction. And, I was angry. I was so angry. I was angry at my 3-year-old, which I shouldn't be angry at her. And I didn't show her I was angry at her. And I had to really explain to her why that's not okay. And at the same time, my husband kept that in our bedroom and decided to let the children watch TV in our bedroom, which you're normally not allowed in our bedroom. And so my daughter found it, and anyway, so yeah. That was just not a good day. But, we got over that, and I stupidly got on Facebook and asked the allergy community, hey, have you ever dealt with one of your children trying to give another one of your children their allergen, or setting off an allergic reaction, or, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't have anything he's allergic to in the house. Well, how is that possible, How? He's allergic to so many things that are, and honestly, we don't keep most of anything he's allergic to in the house, and if we do have something he's allergic to, it's where he can't get to it. Plus, I've taught him so well. He knows all of that. He knows his allergies. He knows everything. I'm sorry. It is 17 minutes, and I am just rambling on. Like I told you, this turned into a vent vlog, and I'm sorry. But anyway, so I will update you all with the results of my next diabetes test, which apparently they should have it that evening, since I go in the morning. So I should find out on Friday if I have gestational diabetes. So if I do, there's only a couple months left. So it'll help me lose weight too, like I want to. Which reminds me, I got off track on that when she told me I gained 18 pounds, made it sound like I gained too much weight, and then I go and look it up, and it says what's normal at 28 weeks is between 17 and 24 pounds. So I was right there in the normal range, even though I feel fat. So that's, and I know I'm overweight, so I do need to make some changes anyway. But yeah, so I'm going to be done now, so if you guys actually watched that whole video, more power to you. Thank you for listening to me vent and be annoying. And I will talk to you all at the end of the week or next week. All right. Have a good day, ladies. Bye.